Hey guys, Paradox here, and today I have a little tutorial for you guys. Today's tutorial is going to be on this little technique that I've learned over the past few days, and I think it's a really cool technique, and it's really simple, and it's something that I wish I would have known how to do a little while ago, so I figured you guys would like to know how to do this as well. But basically what I'm going to be teaching you guys in this tutorial is how to have these straight edge strokes in Photoshop. So obviously I have two different variations here. One being the straight edge stroke technique that I use and that I'm going to be teaching you guys, and then of course the ordinary stroke that you're going to get when you actually do the blending options on a text layer. So obviously you can tell the straight edge stroke looks a lot better, and I just think it's really awesome, really cool technique, and let's just go ahead and get on into it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, of course, create a new canvas. I'm just going to make mine 1920 by 1080 because, I don't know, it's just a good size, I guess. And then we're just going to write out some text here. I'm just going to do my name because, why not? So I'm just going to write it on black. We have a white background. Black's easy to see. And then I'm just going to center it real fast here so I don't have OCD throughout this entire tutorial. But as you can see here, we have some text. By the way, I'm using Bada Boom BB font. This technique works really well with this font. Don't ask me why they named it that, but it just looks really good with this font. So if you're trying to use this for yourself, I would recommend getting this font. I will leave a link to it in the description. It just looks really nice with this font. But once you have your text layer and you have your words and your colors all sorted out, which really the colors don't matter at this point, just make sure that you can actually see the text. So obviously if we have a white background, don't use white. That's basically self-explanatory. But once you have the text layer, you're just gonna go up to this type area up here in the top area here, and then you're gonna scroll down to convert to shape, and that's gonna convert this text layer into a shape layer. So if you saw that, basically there was a T here where my mouse is, and then it just changed to some boxes and stuff, and basically that's the entire tutorial almost. Converting the text layer to a shape is basically the biggest step that we're going to be doing, but go ahead and select this little arrow button down here, and it's going to be called the path selection tool. Press A to get there on the shortcut. But then my bad, if you select the layer, you should see some lines that outline pretty much everything. That's ordinary, or that's usual, so if that happens, don't freak out. But then up in the top you should see a fill section and a stroke section. Now you're going to want to change these up. First thing, go to the fill and make sure it's on this rectangle with the red slash through it. Should just move it over one from what it's currently selected on, so make sure that, and you should see the black disappear with your line still there. Then you're going to go to stroke and you're just going to select your color. Now this is where color is important, so obviously don't make it the background color and use your color that you want. So if, let's say I wanted black, it will start the stroke in black. If I wanted blue, it will make it in blue, etc. I'm just going to use black because it's easier to see, but you could do any color that you want. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm going to use black here, and now we're going to get on into the actual stroke line here, and this is where you start to see the stroke actually come to life. Because currently it looks pretty cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go to this little horizontal bar that you see up here. Now you're gonna click this and it's gonna bring up a few different options, but what you're gonna want to look at is the align section down here, and then that's another drop down menu, and I just select the third one. The third one looks the best. The second one's all right if you want that, you know, it's fine, but the third one in my opinion looks the best, so I would select the third one under the align section, and that's all you need from that section. Then what you're going to want to do is go to where it says this PT. Could be a different number for you. Mine's just on 3 for some reason. If it's 3 for you, you know, I don't know what the default number is. It might be 3, but you're just going to click this drop down arrow and then just adjust this slider bigger or smaller relative to how big your actual text was. That's probably a good size for me. You want it, you know, pretty thick, because I just think it looks better the thicker it is. And then we can zoom out, and that's basically all you have to do. So this looks really cool. Also, another really awesome thing about it is it's actually transparent on the actual text part. So if we were to change this background here, as you can see, the middle section will change with the background because there actually aren't any pixels inside of this black sort of stroke. So I think it looks really cool. It's a really nice little technique, and it's a whole lot better than that, you know, curved edge, or that curved edge thing. I'm sorry, I was about to say straight edge, but then I realized that actually looks better. But it looks a whole lot better than the curved, you know, regular blending option stroke that we have going on in this little second one, and I just think it looks really cool. Now, there are a few different techniques to doing this. That's, in my opinion, the fastest way to do it. There's also another way that you can do this if, let's say, you need to actually edit individual parts of text, and I'm just going to show you that real fast. I'm not really going to get into it too crazy, and it's going to look pretty bad, but I just want to show you guys it anyways. So if let's say we have some text here, and we want to edit it, oh, I don't know what just happened there, but anyways, if we want to edit, you know, just certain parts of it, you can't really do that if you convert it to shape. So if we were to convert it to a shape, and let's say we wanted to, I don't know, maybe make the X bigger, but then cut off like this bottom like part of the X, we couldn't really do that if we converted to a shape, because you can't delete pixels from a shape layer, but you can from a rasterize layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click this and just rasterize type, and that's just going to make a rasterize layer with our text on it. And then what you can do is you can select the polygonal selection tool, and then you can just sort of outline one of the letters, and you can go ahead and start editing just that layer, or just that letter, I'm sorry. But basically right click inside of it and do layer via cut. Now that'll make two different layers, one with the cutout of the letter that you selected, and then, you know, the actual letter. So on this layer, we can, you know, we can make it bigger like we wanted to. We can maybe rotate it, which you can do both of these things if you just convert it to a shape and then select that little arrow button and select one letter at a time. But here's where, you know, this technique is really useful, and that's when we actually wanted to delete parts of this. So let's say this, we need a little cut right here, just in the X, because it would look cool. So where's the end of this? So we just want to cut just inside the selection from the X, and we want something like that. Now obviously that doesn't look very good, you know, it doesn't have to, but let's say we just wanted something like that. Like, it doesn't really matter. And then maybe we move this part just a little bit further away. So layer via cut, and then we could just move this over here, maybe make it a little bit bigger. It doesn't really matter. But the point is, we can actually cut and edit individual letters and still do this technique. So what you're going to want to do, select everything, you know, all the different parts of the letters and every single letter. Group it, hold Control, press G once you have everything selected. Then copy that group, Control J, and then merge all the layers into one layer of that group. So Control E, and now we're just going to have everything on one layer like so. And what you're going to want to do is actually go to the little move tool here, and then hold Control and click inside of this. Now this technique, like I said, isn't perfect, so if you do want, you know, very crisp, very, you know, nice outlines, you're going to want to take some more time on this. But basically, you're just going to select this marquee tool, right click, and do make work path, and that's going to make a pin selection tool around all of the letters. So if you want this to look better, you're going to go in by hand with the pin tool and just select everything. So if you don't really care how this turns out, you just want to practice with it, you can do the process that I've done up till this point. But if you want to make this look better, you're going to want to go through with the pen tool and go by hand and just outline every single part of this word, and that's going to, make your lines in the end look a lot better, as you will see in a few seconds. But press OK, and that's just going to make a pin path around everything. It's not going to be perfect, which I've said, but then you're going to select the pen tool, right click, and do define custom shape. Name this whatever you want. I'm not going to be using this, so I'm just going to name it, whatever. and then that's basically all you have to do. You can unhide this and press escape with the pen tool so we don't see that. But then you should see a rectangle down here. Just make sure you have the custom shape tool selected. If you right click this little triangle and select that, then under the shape tab over here you should see a drop down menu, and I've done this a few times, but you're going to select the latest one, and then just hold shift and draw it, and that will draw what we had before. Obviously, since our pen tool selection wasn't very good, you're going to get a lot of little chops and it's not going to look very good, as you can see. But then you're just going to basically do the same thing as we did before. Select the arrow, make this align the third one, and then make the size a little bit bigger. Whoa, that's a little big. But then of course you're gonna have something like that. So that's how you do it. If you want to actually, cut parts of letters and move it around, make sure you spend more time on the actual path before you convert it or define it as a custom shape, or else you'll end up with something like this. But that's not really the point of this. I was just trying to show you guys how to make straight edge strokes, which is, what we ended up with here. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want to see more tutorials from me, I really like doing these. If you have any ideas of tutorials I could do, or if you have any questions of stuff that you want to know in Photoshop, I'd be happy to do them. Just leave recommendations in the comment section. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.